Emerald Cockroach Wasp. It doesn't kill the cockroach. It turns it into a zombie. The wasp finds a roach several times its own size. First sting hits the thorax, a short paralysis in the front legs. While the roach can't fight back, a second sting lands directly in the brain. Not venom that kills, venom that switches off the will to escape. The roach stays alive. It can walk. It can eat. It simply no longer wants to run. Here's what happens next. The wasp grabs the antenna like a leash and walks the roach, alive, obedient, straight into her burrow. She lays a single egg on its abdomen and seals the entrance. The roach never tries to leave. It waits while the larva eats it from the inside. To humans, this species is harmless. But if you're a cockroach, you're finished, and you won't even mind. Scientists have studied this exact venom for years, hoping to understand how it silences fear so precisely, because nothing else in nature does it this cleanly. Bullet ant. The name isn't an exaggeration. And unlike most insects on this list, this one doesn't hide, doesn't run, doesn't bluff. Victims describe the sting as a gunshot at point-blank range. On the Schmidt Sting Pain Index, the scale entomologists use to rank insect stings from 1 to 4, the bullet ant is the only species to earn a 4+. Schmidt himself, who let dozens of species sting him to build this scale, described it as pure blinding pain, like walking on hot coals with a nail in your heel. The pain doesn't fade in seconds. It lasts for hours, sometimes close to a full day. The Satermawe people of Brazil built a coming-of-age ritual around this insect. A young man wears a glove woven from leaves, packed with live bullet ants stung into a sleep paralysis. When they wake up inside the glove, he must keep his hand in for 10 minutes. No screaming, no pulling out. Some do this 20 times before they're recognized as men. Their hands swell, shake uncontrollably for days, and still they go back for the next round. Because in that culture, the pain itself is the proof. Tarantula hawk wasp. A wasp that hunts spiders several times her own size. She finds a tarantula, engages in a short, almost theatrical fight, and stings it in the abdomen. The venom doesn't kill. It paralyzes completely, but consciousness stays intact. The tarantula feels everything that comes next and can't move a single leg. On the same pain index, the tarantula hawk sting sits at the very top. Schmidt called it blinding, electric, like a running hairdryer dropped into your bubble bath. The only real advice if you get stung is to lie down and scream, so the pain itself doesn't make you fall and hurt yourself worse. For the tarantula, this is only the beginning. The wasp drags it into a burrow and lays an egg directly on the living body. When the larva hatches weeks later, the tarantula is still technically alive, kept fresh on purpose, like meat in a fridge that never gets to leave. Assassin bug. A hunter that wears its trophies on its back. Some species, after draining an ant from the inside, don't discard the empty shell. They stack it on their own back, one ant after another. Over time, a pile of dozens of dead ants builds up on top of the bug. This isn't decoration. It's armor and camouflage at once. The scent of dead ants confuses other predators, and the pile itself physically shields the bug from an attack from behind. It literally wears its victims as a shield. For humans, the bite is painful but rarely dangerous. For an ant, meeting this bug means joining someone else's collection. One more shell stacked onto a pile that just keeps growing with every hunt. Driver ants. Alone, they're nothing. As a column, they're a force of nature. A single colony can hold up to 20 million individuals. When they march, the ground ahead genuinely looks like it's moving. A black carpet with a life of its own. Almost nothing caught in their path escapes unharmed. A large animal that's trapped, sick, or injured can be stripped to the bone by the colony in a matter of hours. Not because any single ant is strong, because there are millions of them, moving as one organism with a single goal. People living near these ants know the rule. Hear the rustle of the column. Leave early. There's no negotiating with it. No scaring it off, no waiting it out. The only real move is distance, and enough of it.